Hi, I'm Starry, and in this video, I want to show you some pro tips for improving your workspace so that you can get to making your art faster, more efficiently, and with a lot more enjoyability. The first thing I want to show you is that when you create a new canvas, you can actually save a template. So for instance, I want to make a template of a square canvas, defaulting my paper color to a gray at a 600 pixel resolution. If I want to save this template, click on this icon and give it a name. Now every time I want to start an illustration, I know that my paper color is already set to the way that I like it, and I can just select it from the preset list. And hey, if this tutorial is helping you and you'd like to see more, please be sure to like and subscribe. Did you know that Clip Studio Paint can record your time lapses? You can also save this in your template under Record Time Lapse. You can choose to prioritize quality or file size. There's also some useful default templates, such as the Webtoon template, where you can determine the number of page divisions and pages, the comic layout, where you can determine the bleed width, what size page you're using, what color profile you'd like to use. For example, if you're working digitally and you want your comic to be viewable on a screen, you would want to use RGB, and if you're working for print, you'd want to use CMYK. You can create a story name and an author name, which will show up on the page where you tell it to. You can determine where the cover page should be, if there is left binding or right binding, how many pages, and if you want to change your unit, you can use this drop-down menu. For example, if you're making something for print or something in graphic design, you might want to use millimeters or inches, and you can use animation templates. You can change the blank space size down here. You can give the story a name, which will show up in the blank space, and you can change your frame rate and playback time. If you want to adjust how Clip Studio Paint transforms and resizes your images, you can use image interpolation to adjust that. And if you access shot or cell templates from, say, the Clip Studio Asset Store, you can apply them from here. The default workspace might have way more than you actually need for what you're currently working on. For example, you might not need to access any of these materials, and you might not want to see your brush sizes. You can easily hide any window that you don't want to see by clicking on the hamburger icon and then hiding that palette. Don't be afraid to hide things, because you can always go back into Window and return it to the workspace. You can also rearrange your windows. I like to keep my layer palette at the top left of my windows so that it's easily accessible. You can expand and change the shape of your tool windows. You can pop them out and put them on the screen somewhere if that's more convenient for you. You can move them to the other side of the screen. And if you want to add them into the stack, click and drag to where you can see the bar. You can either add it next to an existing window or below it. If you don't want to take up more space on the screen, you can always add them into the category like this. Then you can click between them when you need a specific window. You can even drag tool windows off of the screen if you're using dual monitors. Something I wish I had known about a lot sooner is the command bar. You can actually add colors to your command bar. If you select a color on your color wheel, you right-click the command bar and add drawing color, it'll appear. And you'll have simple colors available to you right there. If you want to add a tool to your command bar, you can click and drag it to the command bar. You can use Control Drag to drag the order. So if I want to rearrange this, if I hold Control on my keyboard, I can click and drag, or I can select Drag. The reason why there's an option here is because if you accidentally just click the tool instead of clicking and dragging, then you might select something you don't want. There are lots of useful tools preloaded into the command bar, like starting a new document and deleting outside selection. So definitely make sure to check those out. There's also snapping tools set up on the command bar that you can use. In the command bar settings, if you decide you want to return it to default, you can use this button, or you can add more specific access from these menus. When you're happy with your workspace, go ahead and register it by going into Window, Workspace, and Register Workspace, and give it a name. Now under your workspaces, you'll see it in the list. If you decide you want to change the way you've arranged your workspace, you can simply save over a previous workspace with the same name. Confirm that you want to overwrite it, and now when you load this workspace, it'll be updated to the new arrangement. There's also some default workspaces. In the Assets Store, You can also find workspaces that other people have prepared by searching for workspace material. When you load another workspace, you have the option to import the shortcut, command bar layout, and preferences, and you can uncheck anything that you don't want to change. You can see that when I loaded the default comic layout, that my command bar changed and my windows rearranged. Now I want to show you the quick access toolbar. In the quick access bar, there's lots of useful preloaded tools, and you can create as many quick access sets as you want. From the quick access toolbar, you can add specific pens or brushes. You can also add things like auto actions. If you want to add specific functions, you can go into quick access settings. For example, I use select color gamut a lot. You can add it from here. If you want to delete something, you can always right click on it and delete. And like with the command bar, you can add a drawing color. If you want to change an icon, you can right click on your option, go to icon settings, and change your icon by using a specific image file. You can also change the background color of the icon so it's easier to find. For example, this can be especially useful if you have multiple types of pens. You can right-click on it, go into Subtool Settings, and then you can change the background color of the icon from here. And you can also change the tool icon. You can change the icon thumbnail size by going into the burger icon, going into View, and then adjusting it from here. You can also change the number of columns, and if you'd like to see the list with the names, or just the icons. If you want to organize further, you can add separators. Right-click and add separator, and in this way you can organize your quick access sets. Make sure to name your sets by right-clicking and going into Manage Set, and you can create a set for all the different ways that you work. For example, if you're doing painting versus animation versus comics, you can add the relevant tools, actions, and functions that you need. If you spend the time really setting up your quick access, you could definitely get rid of many of your windows and clean up your workspace quite a bit. You can either keep your quick access floating and available on the screen, or you can add it in with your other windows. I'm going to set up a new workspace for animating. Don't forget that you can create vector pens. I'm going to use this textured pen and duplicate the tool to create a vector version of it, so that I have it for my quick access panel. I'm also going to change the background color of my icon. In order to enable your vector pen, you'll need to have a vector layer active. In addition to setting up your general windows, you can adjust the layer workspace by showing it in two panels. This can be really useful if you have tons and tons of layers. You can split it up so that you're not having to go through hundreds of layers to find the one you're looking for. You can also give your layers a color. This can be really useful for animating because you can then organize your layers by color. Trying to figure out which tools are most important for your quick access can really improve your workflow. It can make you think about what it is you actually use and how often. Remember to always check your tool properties. Things like snapping, being enabled or disabled, can really affect your workflow later on. So I've really dug deep and created a quick access set and customized my command bar and really organized my space. So now when I jump into my animation workspace, I know that I can get right to work and I won't have to go through a bunch of menus. I really hope that this tutorial gave you some great ideas for how to organize your workspace so that you have a more efficient workflow. Please be sure to check out my tutorial playlists. Thanks again for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you soon.